Hello and welcome to another Stamp with Amy K Facebook Live video. And I'm just out here refreshing things on my page and getting it set up so that hopefully I can see your comments if you're hopping in to join me today. I appreciate it if you are, and just feel free to say hello if you're watching the replay. That is just awesome as well. So today I'm going to show you how I made a card, and I posted the details already out on my blog today, so this is not like a new and exciting card for you, but just wanted to show you really quickly how I made. Hey Lori, and I see Karen is here as well, so thanks for joining. Just wanted to show you really quickly today how I made this card. It is pretty super simple, but I absolutely love this designer series paper, so I have to show it off because it's an awesome pack. It is from the upcoming, starting tomorrow, 2020 to 2021 Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog, and it's the designer paper is from the pack called In Good Taste, and it is a huge pack of paper. It's 24 sheets, I believe, double-sided, and there are 12 different total of 24, but 12 different pages in it. So hey, Danette, I see Roz is here as well, and Kathy, thanks for joining, and Patricia. So hello, everybody. Thanks for hopping in and saying hi today. So, but like I said, this pack of paper is awesome. So if you don't have it on your wish list, you need to add it. At least I think you need to add it. I think everybody needs at least 10 packs of it because it's the best. One of the best papers I think we've ever had. It's got, hey Krista, thanks for joining today. It's got a fantastic set of background images. I mean, really, you don't need a whole lot, obviously, other than the designer paper on the cards to make it be awesome. So anyhow, so this is the card I made with the In Good Taste Designer Series paper, and the sentiment is from the Ornate Thanks stamp set, which is one that we've had for a little while. It's currently available. It was a little early bonus item that anybody can purchase, so a little bonus early pre-order, I guess, for everybody. So hey Mary, thanks, glad that you're here as well. So I'm glad that I'm not the only one who loves that paper. So yes, I see Roz and Karen are both saying yep, 100% is the best pack ever. So it's awesome. It's awesome. And even some of the designs that I looked at initially and was like, I'm not sure I love that. I've seen people who have made things with it, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. So it's all fantastic, and I love that it's more in the neutral tones, so it really coordinates with pretty much everything color-wise. So, all right, so we're using the Ornate Thanks stamp set. It's a photopolymer one, a huge set of sentiments in here, so lots of good things in this one, so can't say enough good things about this. It's not blurry for me, Karen, so I'm hoping that it's good. I'm hoping that it's good for everybody. I don't know. Like I said, if it is blurry, let me know and I can try to restart or do something, but hopefully it's good. So, all right. So, hey, Jean, glad that you're joining from North Dakota as well. So I have this die set, which is from the new catalog. It is the many medallions dies. I knew I was going to forget. And thank you very much, Jean. I appreciate that. So many medallions dies. This die and this die are the two that we actually used on here. So this is an awesome little background die, and then there are some coordinating pieces, but this is one also from the upcoming catalog. So you'll be able to order this. Oh, good. I'm glad it's clear. Okay, good deal. Like I said, I started to worry, but it's clear on my screen, so I'm hoping that all is well. So, okay. So this is the die set that we're using today, and like I said, I used the kind of diamondy, other than diamondy, I don't know how to describe it. Sort of, yeah, diamond look. And then also this one reminds me of Lynx. I don't know what the official term is, but I'm calling it the Link die because that was all that made sense to me on it. So those are the pieces that we're going to be using on this. So I'm going to set the card up here and out of the way a little bit. As I'm getting the paper set up, I did want to remind you of two things. Starting tomorrow, June 3rd, and it runs through Diamondy. I know another new word. I make stuff up pretty routinely. All right, so we have got the joining promotion from Stampin' Up, which is the pick a free bundle with your starter kit promotion, which is an awesome deal. I mean, it's any of the bundles, either a stamp and die set bundle or a stamp and punch bundle from the new annual catalog. You will be able to choose one of those for free when you purchase the starter kit starting tomorrow. So yay, that is an awesome deal. So if you are not a demonstrator currently, but are interested in joining, I would be very happy to talk with you about it and have you join our little team. So let me know if you have questions about it. Drop me an email at amy@stampwithamyk.com or whatever, let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions about it, can tell you more about being a demonstrator. It's awesome because you get a 20%, at least a 20% discount on all of your items that you purchase. You get to pre-order things ahead of time with the demonstrators. You're able to go to Stampin' Up! Events, so it's a pretty awesome thing. So let me know if you have questions about that. I would love to chat with you more about it. And thank you, Connie. I appreciate that. And then the next thing that Stampin' Up! Also has going on starting tomorrow, and it runs through the 30th of June, is they are offering some extra Stampin' rewards with an order of $250 or greater, which, believe me, is easy to do with this new catalog, or with a party where your party total is $250 or greater. You get an additional $25 in Stampin' rewards to spend. So that's free cash. Free host cash from Stampin' Up! So that's a nice, definitely an awesome, nice little bonus. So if you're interested or need more questions about that, or need more questions, have more questions about that and need answers, let me know. I'm happy to chat with you about that as well. I'm also happy to do catalog parties where I can get you a host code and you can get that, hand that out to Stampin' friends, and you guys can put in orders and that sort of thing and see if you can get to that $250 level. So let me know if you have questions. Again, I'm happy to answer anything. So let's get started now that I've talked already for 10 minutes and haven't said anything about the card yet. So, all right, so we have Smoky Slate as the card base, and this is cut to 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. This card would also work with your standard book fold card, which would be 8 1/2 by 5 1/2 and scored at 4 1/4. So it works either way. So good. I'm glad that you like the paper and the dies too, Kathy. Yeah, lots of good stuff. So, all right, so this is our designer paper that we're using today. The flip side of it is also very cool. It's like paint, I guess, maybe. I don't know. There's probably like that gesso stuff, I think is how you say it. That's sort of what it reminds me of, but very cool. And Night of Navy is the color on this one. This side's kind of got the grays and brown tones in it, so that's why I stuck with the more neutral design for this card. So we're going to use a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue to adhere this piece of designer series paper to the card front, and it measures the full size of the card front, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And again, the details for this card, the measurements and all that sort of thing are already posted out on my blog, and I will link that up. As soon as I get done with the video, I'll link it up here in the video so you'll be able to quickly and easily find that blog post if you want more details. Just want to make sure that I don't have any weird edges hanging off, and yep, looks good for that one. The next thing that I did was I went ahead and set up my stamparatus for this. You don't really need to, but it just makes it a little bit easier to make sure that you have everything straight and you're stamping things the way you want it to be. So I have got the stamp on here already from the Ornate Thanks stamp set. There we go, stuck to the paper just like just like a good photopolymer stamp would. This is a little piece of Smoky Slate cardstock, and of course I set my dies over here. And all that I did with it is the piece of paper originally measured about 2 inches by 4 1/4, and I just took this little die and I laid it right along the bottom edge and cut it with that. So it actually cut out, you know, there is a little piece of the Smoky Slate that it cut, but it left it with a little sort of jaggedy, scallopedy, is that a word? Karen, quick. I'm just kidding. I know it's not a word. So a little jagged kind of scalloped edge that it left here along the bottom. So that is the die that I used for that. And it's actually, I guess I should show you, one thing that's really easy when you're lining it up, if you're kind of on the edge of a piece of paper, you can actually see there are little holes in it, which hopefully you can see that, the little holes in here. And when you're going to line it up and you're going to put your die face down, you can actually see your cardstock. As long as you're not using white on white, you can see your cardstock through it, so you can see if you're lined up straight. Because that's one of the challenges that at least I have personally when I'm cutting borders. It's hard for me to know whether it's straight or somewhat straight or kind of straight, and I always hope that it's kind of straight. So, all right. So we're going to use a little Versamark ink because we're heat embossing the sentiment. So just going to tap that over here and going to do a quick stamp and hope that I got a good image. And if I didn't, that's the one bonus of the stamparatus, so we can always redo it. It looks like I got a fairly decent image, so I'm going to set that aside as well. And try not to stick my fingers right in the wet ink. And I've got the white Stampin' emboss powder, and I just keep mine in a little Ziploc container. And keep a spoon handy so I can sprinkle it on the top and then tap the excess right back You know what I just did? I stamped it on the wrong side. Well, we'll go on with it. It's already there. So got that on there and stamped on the wrong side of the cardstock. I meant to stamp it on the nice clean side, and I stamped it on the not as nice side, but we'll use the bone folder and we'll fix it. So going to turn on my heat tool. Stampin' Up! Does have two settings. Hopefully you can see it on the heat tool. There's a 0, which is off. Level 1 is the drying piece of the heat tool, and level 2 is for heat embossing. So just going to do the quick heat embossing. Hey, Jean Ann, I'm glad you're here, and I see Kayla is here as well. So, and hopefully you can see it on the screen where it's turning from kind of a dull white to a shiny bright white, and that just means that it's doing its job and it's heat embossing. So it just takes a second once it gets going to make sure that you got it all done. One thing you don't want to do on heat embossing, you can always come back and reheat it a little bit if you sort of don't get it as embossed as you want it to be, but you don't want to overcook your heat embossing just because you can burn it. And trust me, I've done it before, and that's not good. So, do I have a problem cleaning Versamark off my stamps? Never seems to come. I use a chamois on mine, like it's a car chamois, which it's the Absorber is the name of the chamois that I use, and that seems to take it off the photopolymer stamps really nicely. When I'm using a red rubber stamp, I actually usually will use Stays-On cleaner to get it cleaned off. So that is my one little, kind of little tip with that is I use Stays-On cleaner on the rubber stamps. I don't use the Stays-On my photopolymers just because I don't want to ruin the stamp, and there's potentially Stays-On the cleaner can sort of eat away at the photopolymer stamps. So that's why I don't tend to use it on those. But I do find that the Absorber, it's a car chamois, does a pretty good job of cleaning the Versamark ink off of the photopolymer stamps. So hopefully that helps you. So on this Stampin' Up! One works well too. Honestly, I don't have it because I have the old car chamois that I've been using forever. So, and I think they probably do the same thing. So, all right. So this one I've done a little, just adhered a little piece of Whisper White cardstock that was cut to 1 7/8 by 4 1/8 or 4 1/4. I'm sorry. So adhere that to the back of my sentiment that I've got die cut here with a little multi-purpose liquid glue, and then we are going to glue that down to the card front. So. Try Stays-On the red rubber. Yeah, the red rubber ones I find it's actually harder to clean off than the photopolymer ones are. So definitely try the Stays-On trick and see if you can get that to work, because for me that's worked very well. So, all right, we're just adhering that on here to the card front, making sure it's stuck down. And then I went ahead and pre-cut a couple pieces here. So this is that little kind of diamond-shaped die cut, this one, from the Many Medallions dies. And I went ahead and cut piece of Whisper White cardstock ahead with it, and it is a little bit oversized for the card front that I'm going to be needing, so I want to line it up here and then figure out where I need to cut off. So I don't want to put glue past here, basically, because I don't want a big gluey mess when I'm trying to stick this down and have it stuck to the background paper. This just needs little touches of your multi-purpose liquid glue, and I'm doing it obviously on the ones that do not have holes. If you end up needing to put it on one of them that's got the little hole on it, you can put the glue on. Just be really careful not to overdo it. Just a little tiny dab is all that you need for this glue. All right. Well, I'm glad that y'all are liking this card. It's a really simple one, which is, that's what I like, but really simple. And I was happy with the way it turned out. And actually my daughter, my 13-year-old, almost 14-year-old, came in and was like, oh, Mom, I love that card. This, the color palette is awesome on it. And I'm like, oh, well, okay, so I guess I did good on this one, because normally she comes in and she's like, oh, I don't like that at all. It's too many flowers, it's too many whatever. But this one apparently is good for her. So glad that you all are liking it as well. All right, so since I had cut it oversized here, I'm just going to trim it down even with the edge of my card, just like that, super quick. And I think we've got that all adhered on the right way. And then again, I went ahead, get a little phone call right in the middle of nobody calls me again except for when I'm on lives apparently. So I apologize. Hopefully I'm back in live again. Looks like I'm still going. So I hope you didn't miss anything on there. So, all right. So I cut a piece of silver foil sheets How many 14-year-olds know color palette? Well, mine does. So, and yes, Gina, and it is 12 by 12 designer paper. It's a huge pack of 24 sheets, so it's definitely a really good one. So, all right, so I cut this with silver foil. I cut this from silver foil sheets with this sort of link die from the mini medallions. I don't know why I'm having trouble saying. I want to call it many marvelous medallions, and I know that's not the right word for it. Many medallions stamp set. And again, it's a little bit wider than what I need it to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the final link before I glue this one down, because I kind of want it to be still having that sort of diamondy point to it. And if I glue it down, I will probably end up cutting it off straight instead of cutting the diamond point. So just going to trim it down with the paper snips. And this one, again, just a little tiny bit of multi-purpose liquid glue is all that you need on it. Just doing a little dab here on the back of the diamond shape so that hopefully I don't end up with it oozed everywhere, because the silver or the foil sheets, for whatever reason, for me, if I have any glue that gets out from underneath those, ooh, I end up with a mess all over those silver foil sheets, and then I'm sad. So I try to be really careful when I'm using the foil sheets not to over glue or over glop the glue, because it sort of makes a mess. All right. So just giving that a quick press down to make sure that we've got it stuck down completely, which looks like it's going to stay. And that is all for the card front, for the die cutting and the embossing. And I used a couple of the frosted and clear epoxy droplets. And I don't know, should I go with the clear ones on this one? I think I might, I put the frosted ones on my card earlier today. So I think I'm going to try one of a couple of the clear ones on the card today, or card that we're making now. So just to give you a little different look and let you know what it'll look like with the clear ones instead of the frosted droplets. Oop, except that's a big droplet. I don't want that there. I think I want to do a couple small ones here instead. All right, so we've got one of those, and then we will stick this one kind of right down here in the middle on the bottom. All right, then the inside of the card, I just kept it super simple. We're going to use a little piece of the In Good Taste Designer Series paper. Well, thank you, Gina. I appreciate that. I'm glad you like the card. So yes, you need to put it on your list, because it is really it's a good die set. And, it's got a coordinating stamp set. It's bundled together. I haven't used the stamp set yet. I need to pull it out and use it, but the die set is awesome. So I'm just going to adhere this to the bottom of a piece of Whisper White cardstock for the inside of the card. Make sure that I'm fairly straight on here and give it a second to set up. And then we're going to trim off the excess and glue that to the inside of the card with multi-purpose liquid glue again. So, all right. We're almost done here. So, and I didn't screw too much up today. Just flip the piece of cardstock that I die cut the wrong way. Although now that I say that, I do have it on the right, because I thought about the time I say that, I'm going to glue it on the back side of what I just got done doing and not on the inside of the card. So just wanted to make sure. Ordered the stamp set and not the dies. Well, now you have a reason to put in another order, Karen. So there. Made the mistake and bought the stamp set with that. Oh, both of you did that? Aw. Well, that's okay. Like I said, that just gives you a reason to put in another order. So, all right, so those are the two cards. Little side-by-side comparison. And really, again, the only thing that's really different about them is that I use the more shiny, kind of clear droplets as opposed to the frosted ones that I put on my card that I shared earlier today. So that is all that I had for you today. So other than making sure that you're getting your wish lists ready for tomorrow, the new catalog ordering will be starting somewhere around noon Mountain Time tomorrow. Maybe it'll be a little earlier. I don't know that for sure. Hopefully it will be, but they have assured us that it will be up no later than noon Mountain Time to start ordering. So make sure you've got your lists ready to go. And let me know if you have any questions about that awesome joining promotion, or any questions about the extra host cash that you can earn with a larger order. So I appreciate it. Thanks for joining me today. I will plan to be live back out on my YouTube channel on Friday around 2 o'clock Eastern time, and then back here again on Facebook next week around 2 o'clock Eastern time. So And I'm glad you learned some new words, Karen, and I'm glad they weren't naughty words. So at least they're nice words that I'm that I'm using. Can I hold them up really close so you can see the paper? Yes. So let me put it up here by the camera, and I will try to hold it still because I know the camera kind of focuses in and out a little bit. So hopefully if I put it up close, you can see it, see what it looks like. It's tiles. It's a photograph of tiles. And that's what this whole pack of paper is essentially, photorealistic things. It's a lot of wood grain backgrounds, tile backgrounds. There are fabrics, the paint splotches, whatever. It's a great, great pack of paper. So again, let me know if you have any other questions about anything. I appreciate y'all being here. Thanks for joining today. Have a fantastic rest of your Tuesday, and we will chat again soon.